Welcome to the Push Network. I'm here with Stuart Title's finest, Millie and Alexander. How are you two doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I have a few questions to ask you two based on lifestyle, what title looks like, and just the job that we chose to pursue. What is title, and what do you two do for title? Specifically as Stuart.
Well, I am an escrow officer. Um, so I do everything from receiving the contract to waiting for the title report to collecting all the information we need to close, making sure that the title and the history of the title is clear, to closing, getting approval, sending funds. So that's what I do in a nutshell, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, she does the hard part. Like, she's the thinker, the brains of the thing. So she's always thinking about something. And I'm the marketer, so I'm the talker. So I'm her marketer and sales, her BDO, business development officer. And what I do is I go to events. So you always catch me at the realtor events.
Mm.
I take realtors out to eat, like to have meetings. That sounds so bad. It's legal. Just kidding. And I make sure like the realtors feel appreciated and also get feedback to send back to my escrow officers and make sure they're getting business because they're always doing paperwork, they're always on their desk, either doing closings or processing a file, and I'm their face for them.
That's amazing. So, what kind of got us into title? Did we fall into it? Did we kind of know we were always going to go into that? What kind of did that look like?
Well, for me, I kind of just fell into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was fresh out of high school, and somebody's like, "I'm looking for an assistant at an office job," and I'm like, "Well, let's give it a shot."
Mm-hmm.
And 6.5 years later,
You thought it was like coffee assistant, you're like,
no,
nah.
yeah, like you hear an assistant in an office, and you're like, "Oh, printing
Mm-hmm.
documents."
Turned into a whole nother world,
Yeah.
huh?
How about you,
Um,
Alexander?
So my older sister, she's a lender, and I kind of like did job shadowing, and then I actually became a realtor for some time, and then from there, like I was like, oh, there's so much people in the industry, and there's a lot of competition. Not gonna lie, as a realtor,
Mm-hmm.
and then I met this one lady, my friend, called Lupita Cos, and then she kind of like told me she's like, this is what title entails, this is what you need, and I'm studying law right now, so I'm like, I don't know, this kind of like helps there, and like I can use my studies also to help me in the business because I spent so much hours studying also. So I don't know, I just decided to fall into law. I mean, to law, to title, and well, my boss Scott Chatwin, he's the one like that referred me to like do the marketing side of stuff, and which I enjoyed because I mean, as a realtor, you have to be really outgoing and talk to strangers and kind of be a more networking minded set of mind instead of just office work. So yeah, it just fell into place to be honest.
Gears a little bit, if that's okay. You are part of NARP. You're on the board.
Yeah,
What? Tell me a little bit about that, and kind of what do they do on a day-to-day basis, and how they help the community out.
yeah. So NAREP, it stands for National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And what it entails is so so what it's based off of is us getting into rooms with like senators, like our Senator Mike Lee out of Utah, going to offices like once a year we do a trip to Washington D.C. to talk to every one of our senators, and it's nationwide, so it goes in every state. And I mean, there's so much influential people, and I feel like Hispanics are not as involved as they should be, and we're such a like economic wealth building block of the United States, and that's what we're in charge of. We get into those rooms, we make sure they pass laws that help us instead of affect us, because I mean, each law is going to affect you, and sometimes you don't get a say in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year we started like trying to help the community more locally than nationwide, because that's what we struggled with. And now this year we started doing like community works, like we go and volunteer at the youth center, and we're starting to do that monthly, and like just helping something more locally instead of like more nation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what we entail.
You know how powerful that is, right? To see not only a small community. Have you heard of Latinos in Action?
Yes,
Yes. So it's
that's
like
high school.
it's kind of like a step up from that, you know. And I'm glad you didn't forget about those things that we did back in high school. Kind of channel that into the real community, going up to these senators, going up to the government itself, and saying, "Hey, this doesn't work, and we're trying to figure out how we and make it work. So that's very powerful.
Well, Mark, it's crazy. Like this organization, like so much people like don't know what it entails, so they like don't like it or talk crap on it.
Mhm.
But I'm like, you should actually do your research and actually see what we do, because I mean, getting in a room full of a bunch of mayors, like all of the Utah mayors went to the board of the realtor board to
Mhm.
talk to us, and then just from there going on to like talk to the governors, the senators,
Mhm.
and like there's those are rooms that you won't be able to get into because of how like knit they are and how like wealthy you have to be in those rooms.
Mhm.
And it's just like being able to be in those rooms and then say your part and try to like help out your community instead of just going on about your business, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it does affect you. You know, all these laws being passed by our new presidency are affecting the Hispanic community especially, and
Mhm.
we're not in those rooms
Yeah.
because we haven't been able to get in. You know?
And what's crazy, you guys went to Washington D.C. You guys talked within the White House and really went and seen these people up front and talked to them and stated these issues. I feel like that was very powerful to see.
Yes, I mean, so what we did is we were doing a conference. You know, we did a bunch of conferences, and it was everyone from all the states that went, and then we got to hear from some like excellent speakers, and from there we just it's to be honest, you just got to meet the right people
Mhm.
to get far in this world, especially in these higher levels.
Mhm.
So I mean, it was just great to be able to then for them to get the speakers for us to then talk to them and see some changes actually happen. Because I mean, most times they're all in their head. They're like just seeing what next thing to do. And if you're like you're actually talking to them and telling them like, hey, this is affecting us this way, this way. I live in Utah. I'm a resident. I've been struggling with this problem. Then they actually see that because I mean, most of our representatives are stuck in Washington D.C.
Mhm.
They're just stuck in there. They're not over here living in Utah actually seeing the problems. They only hear about the problems from either the public or some outbreaks. So yeah, it's nice to actually be the public in front of them.
It's amazing. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is not only title company, but I feel like the real estate business is probably the most underrated business to be in because everyone thinks we're go, 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 go all the time. We have our fun days, right? We have our good times. We have our parties that we go to, our real estate only, you know, kind of get togethers that we have going on. What does that look like for you? We'll start with Millie.
For me, I feel like the events. I don't know. I feel like I have a good balance.
Mhm.
For the fun times and the fun events, I do fun real estate events and I do fun personal events. I think I have a good work-life balance.
Mhm.
And that's the beauty I feel like of real estate is you can pick how much you want to be invested in work and real estate and how much you want to be invested in your personal life. And I think for me, it's half and half.
Mhm. How important is that balance to you to be able to have work and have your personal life kind of coexist together?
I think it's really important just because I don't know if it depends on the person obviously, but for
Mhm.
me, I feel like if you're focusing too much on work, you kind of lose yourself. But if you're the person who your personality is work, then that's great. But for me, I wouldn't personally want to lose myself in work.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like it comes together perfectly because real estate is just seeing people get their homes and seeing how excited they are. That's where my personal and my business mix. Just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I think real estate's a great industry, and I think it's awesome that you get to pick, depending on your personality, depending on how much workload you want. What do you think? What about you, Alexander?
I love what you said. Like seeing them get their home. I feel like that's what also pushes you as a real estate agent, and like what should push you, because some people in the industry don't care about that. They just see it as this transaction, like oh, it's just work. But like seeing them actually like want to get the house, they're struggling because they're renting, and they finally have a house where they don't have to listen to a landlord, where they build equity. Like they actually are gonna be better off in the future. I feel like that would also push me, to work harder and actually like want to complete the deal and make sure it's as smooth as possible. Because there's a lot of complications through a transaction where it's like maybe it's not on you, but like if you can do something about it, I feel like that's important.
Mm.
And that's where I'm like, oh, like I want to go above and beyond, like to like make sure they actually get the house and they don't have to be renting or get an Airbnb while that transaction completes. And that's where you're like, oh, like yes, it's work, but like it also like feels something, because a house is somewhere you live. It's your comfort space, you know. And like some people wish they had that, which they don't, and that's where you can relax and detone from like work
Mhm.
side. But
Yeah.
I mean, real estate can be very much go go go.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, and that's how I've been living it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, yes, it should be a balance between like separation from life to work. Because yeah, you lose yourself in the industry, but I feel like starting off, especially right now, you need to get into real estate because there's a lot of people that've been here for years. You know,
Mhm.
we're the young generation. People have been there for years. They already have their client base. They already have everything set. We kind of need to either we need to win the new business or like like make our mark in the industry.
Mhm.
And once we do that, like yeah, separate yourself. But to be honest, when you start off in the real estate, you have to actually push really hard and yeah, just do go go go. Even if it's like you're gonna get burnt out, exhausted, but you need to jump right back into it because that's how you build like loyal clients, and that's how you build up your your reputation to then be like a big separation and then just maybe get assistance and to do like the processing side and then separate it. Because to be honest, I've had some weeks where I'm like all I've done is work this whole week,
Mhm.
7 days a week. But I mean, it's also kind of like changing because you see what other people do for work, and you're like, well, I'm so grateful that I can, like personally, we go to lunch meetings, we go to events, and yes, they're networking events, but you can also have a good time.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, don't demolish like a whole steak in front of someone, and
Yeah.
be like a little proper, finger foods, because I mean, people do judge you,
Mhm.
and I mean, yeah, be like talk to people, get to know them, and then also like you're networking at the end of the day. But you can enjoy it, you can have a good time, eat a good meal, be in AC,
Mhm.
and hear people's stories because at every event there's people's stories and how they achieved what they achieved, and I feel like that's the beauty of it. You
Yeah.
can enjoy the events you go to instead of just like suffering the whole time,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean that's what I see it as.
I like that. Stories. Stories is what brings a lot of people to where they are now. What um happened in their past life or kind of what led them there. It's all a story. It's all like reading a book. So with that, would you envision your story as successful? What would you say to
You wanna go first?
I personally think that I am successful just because, especially in this economy, it's really hard to be a self-sustaining person. Um, and I think I am self-sustaining. I depend on myself
that?
for my bills, my personal items, my housing, and I'm doing it. And I think that's successful. Obviously, there's levels to success, and it depends on the person. Um, and obviously, I have goals to grow, but currently, I think as a female Latina in Utah in this economy, I think I'm pretty successful.
That's good. What about you, Alex?
Um, I mean, it's hard because I feel like when I do feel some side of success, like I, I mean, I tend to slow down,
Mhm.
but like, I mean, I would consider myself as successful. Like sometimes I need reality checks because not gonna lie, competing against people that have been in the industry for so long, you're always comparing yourself. Not gonna lie, you're always comparing yourself. Like, well, I could do better. I can like lead gen or be more productive in other ways. But then, not saying this in a weird way, but then I look at people my age and like kind of like then I kind of like slow down, because I'm
Mhm.
like, well, I'm over here competing with what 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds have been in the industry for 30 years at that point, and I'm barely only starting. I'm barely putting my splash in there, and comparing myself to people my age and like who barely are starting in each industry in their careers, I like kind of finally feel that success. Like oh, it's like I'm so glad I pushed myself this far because now I have all these, skills and all this back to me, like I have all this knowledge that I wouldn't have had like if I didn't push myself this hard, if I didn't get in the rooms with people that are better than me and people that are like been in the business so long that they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
And I don't know, just sitting in the room with other people, like saying, oh, like I'm so mature for my age, but like I kind of like see it more, like
Mhm.
oh, like you didn't do this, like what do you mean you like just been like enjoying,
Yeah.
I feel like I did push myself and like I sometimes also kind of like want to act like a kid because I'm like oh like so exhausting,
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes I deserve to like do fun
Yeah.
stuff because I have worked my butt off, and I mean, yeah, I do see myself as successful because I'm doing everything I said I did, you know. Because I
Mhm.
feel like I'm really big on manifestation and actually going through with it.
Mhm.
And one of my flaws is that I tell people what I'm gonna do before I do it. So then I push myself to actually do it because I'm like, I look so bad. I'm
If
like,
I
I'm not
don't
gonna be
do
a
it.
man of my word. I need to actually do it now.
You know, you know the finish line. You know, once you see it and you can envision yourself passing it, and you're going through the finish line, you're gonna fall, you're gonna stumble, you're even gonna feel sore along the way. But every time you take that step, you're getting closer and closer to that finish line. What would you say to people who are starting from the beginning, trying to reach that finish line, and who don't see themselves pushing as hard as you guys do, and who aren't even maybe starting or don't know how to start? What's like one thing you would share with people out there who are looking to, start their careers or start that business, or even just getting ready to feel some type of motivation to begin where they're starting?
That's a good question. I think my advice would be just do.
Mm.
I feel like people don't move or take chances because they're scared. They think of the what ifs. They think of what if I fail, or it's just fear. And if you just do it, I mean, what's if you're already at your lowest, or if you're already, I mean, you if you just do it, you can either go up or you can stay where you are. So it's just do.
Mm.
I think that's my advice.
How about you, Alex?
Um, okay. If you really want to start that adventure and like I like a thing where it's like, yeah, it's like there's you pick your hard because it's hard to like study, work your ass off, do all this stuff, but it is also hard to not have enough money to pay your
Mhm.
rent. It's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
get kicked out, get evicted, have to experience all that, not be able to like when you're going out with your friends, not be able to pay for stuff, and like you just stay home because of that. Like pick your hardness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you do want that motivation, you're not doing enough. Like, if you really haven't achieved what you really want to achieve, you're not doing enough.
I like
Don't
that.
compare yourself to people that are doing worse than you. Like, don't compare yourself to, like, like let's say drug addicts. Let's say, like, people dropping out, people having kids at a young age. And, like, don't compare yourself to that because obviously they're going through a lot right now. And that's why they're stuck there. But compare yourself to, I like to compare myself to people that are way beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to compare myself to Harvard students. I like to compare myself to like Olympians, stuff like that. Like, what do you mean you're 18 and you're over here in the Olympians?
Mm-hmm.
Or like you're 16 already training to be in the like in FIFA and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do you mean you're already doing that? Like, they're putting every single second of their day into progressing and doing that one thing. Yes, they have family problems. Yes, they much rather be out there dating or enjoying their lives or just watching a movie or just doom scrolling. But like they dedicate so much time that yes, comparison is bad, but like it makes you feel some type of way. It makes you
Mm-hmm.
feel like bad in some way. I mean, there's always limits to also the way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes you feel bad as much that you're like you're gonna get in that mindset. And another thing I like is like think of what person you want to be and like what would they do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say a really fit person, they'd eat really healthy each time they think about it. They exercise every day and they will feel guilty and they'd wake up early to do that. If you want to be like a successful fit person, then do what you think they would do.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna wake up early, they're gonna go to the gym, they're gonna go to work, and they're gonna get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
It's just just like don't compare yourself to bad stuff. Like compare yourself to something way bigger than you,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you won't achieve what they are, but you'll get close and much further.
So yeah, one thing I always say is comparison isn't bad. I agree with you, Alex. It's more of whether you're able to put action to that comparison. Are you able to go to the gym? Are you able to read that book that you say you're going to read for 6 months? You know what I'm saying? So it's like be as for well put forward than you actually can. Put in the action that you actually are saying that you're going to do to reach that potential that you want to reach. You're the best version of yourself. Be that version of yourself. So I think we can leave off with that. It's been a pleasure, you two. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Likewise.